because I didn't know if the Blu-ray transfer had, because of that, it kind of pixelated it, but some of that footage,
I didn't notice.
Some of that footage didn't look all that great. But that's all I got.
The
Other
movie
than the
had
soundtrack.
me too invested for me to notice little small things like that. It is. I mean, it's the quintessential gangsta movie. It is what you think of when you think of those movies. And like I said, I think they're way more gangsta than anyone in New Jack City was. Wesley Snipes, Nino Brown would have been the crackhead willing to suck dicks and sell cheeseburgers in Menace to Society.
Hey, Cherish. It's 8 o'clock. Is it time to get the show on the screen or what?
Do you enjoy watching films with friends?
Do you like to consume vats of alcohol?
It's some 40s and some bitches, baby, yeah!
Me? I like beer. If you like all that and none of those artsy-fartsy films...
Does this mean we don't get to go to the Fellini Festival?
Fuck the Fellini Festival?
Then watch and listen to 2 Drink Minimum commentaries.
Every Wednesday, myself and a rotating panel of the filthiest podcasters I can muster up give you our comments, observations, and sometimes we might actually talk about the film as we class up some of your favorite films the only way we know how, as raunchy as we can.
What's this movie, PG?
Oh, yeah. This podcast sure is fucking...
Not only do you get the audio, but the video that goes with it.
Just listen to the shit that comes out of these filthy pirates.
You don't need to get an erection when your cock's full of rigor mortis.
Fucking curb stomp a baby for a baconator. I think the moral of the story is don't let Corky run Cerebro.
Unforgivable. If you could stand all that, come and get your fill and your fix of 2 Drink Minimum Commentaries.
All the cool kids are doing it.
2 Drink Minimum Commentaries is a proud member of the Legion Podcast Network.
Alright, so, since we have this big discussion on what we're actually talking about here, whether it's gangster or gangsta, I'm going to fill you both in on what Urban Dictionary defines as gangster and gangsta. Gangsta with an A, which is what the storyline was about for the subject was about for today. A psychopathic member of an inner city underclass known primarily for being associated and uneducated, antisocial and uneducated, also known for ready access to illegal drugs and weapons and staggeringly poor marksmanship. That's the Urban Dictionary for gangsta.
Sounds like New Jack City.
A gangster, which was your argument for him being gangster as opposed to sta, is a wannabe thug, often illustrated as an inhabitant of a downtrodden ghetto that hangs around in a gang, literally associated with the African American subculture. These try-hard wannabe gangstas attempt to make themselves appear like real criminals by graffitiing buildings, smoking, selling drugs, and trying to look all badass and macho and shit. You know.
Sounds like it to a T.
Doesn't say the
Starring Wesley Snipes.
Gangsters represented see below, and street wannabe gangsta types don't hold a candle to what real gangsters are.
That's hilarious.
That's the exact Urban Dictionary definition of a gangster. So, gangsta movie is associated with the proper stereotypes that we're all thinking of, and I think that a gangsta is more of an urban youth, but as far as it goes, they're both gangstas. Nino Brown is the original gangsta, who is as much as a real person. The Cash Money Brothers were a real gang. The Carters a real place. They were all gangstas because that's how it started. Like that was the original. That was how the gangster subculture started. Was with those guys. They were not organized criminals. There was a guy that was usually the head gangster, and everyone else in my V.
Whatever.
Gangster. The definition's there. It's what they are. They're gangsters.
But you said he wasn't.
No, I said the characters are thugs, but as far as a gangster movie goes, this is it. Like drive-bys and people on the street just acting out, that's gangster. Those guys they created the gangster subculture, like they started the gangster subculture, but this is what gangster is. Like if you're a gangster, you're hanging out in the middle of the night, walking the street, doing drive-bys, that's like selling drugs as opposed to being the drug dealer. These are the actual pushers. Like that's the gangsta lifestyle. So that's where it comes from.
You know
what it is.
You know what Menace II Society is?
Up out of there. Ain't nothing but a gangsta party. Like that up, son. Why you acting like that? Oh, shit.
I'm so good with sound effects.
Gangsta party.
It was. He's 100% right. I gotta say,
I'm glad you agree with him.
2 episodes, Vic has really been on the money.
The last two.
It was. Here's the thing. I was kind of nervous that you were gonna go with like Juice, or Boys in the Hood. When you picked New Jack City, I felt pretty good.
Did you?
And this was. I still think Mortal Kombat. I should have been a clean sweep the last 3 episodes that we recorded individually, not all in one night.
So New Jack City is it's a representation of to me it's a representation of black criminals trying to become what like the mob is. Like that's literally like he just decided if I'm gonna be a drug dealer, I might as well be like the top of the chain. And that's the story of him, his rise to power, as opposed to like if it had been like the story of him starting from the bottom and making it to the top, that would have been the gangster part of it, because they would have showed him shooting people and doing and taking out whole groups of people and like being the soldier as opposed to being the head of it. And that's all it was, is like him avoiding the cops and figuring out the way to be a better.
He was
criminal.
just here. We wanted him to start from the bottom.
We want to see where Nino comes from. We want to know what is he really like.
I thought he was going to be in a wheelchair in a Canadian high school.
By the way, do we know what we're doing for the? Is this the outro? Don't we normally do some like other little off-topic conversation that has to do with the episode?
We're still talking about this episode.
No, we kind of flowed right into the outro.
No, wait, we've still been recording.
Yeah.
For how long?
What do you mean?
How long have we? Okay, I'm a little lost.
Forgive him, folks. It's late.
I've been up since 9 a.m.
I've been up since 4:30. What's your point?
p.m. for 7 hours.
Well played. I didn't hear denial. Is that right?
No, I've been up since 4:30 this morning. All right. Well, I guess.
Okay. Well,
I was going to say this. You mentioned, Boys in the Hood. I watched that recently on TV, and there was no way in hell I was going to pick that.
I would have lost. To be completely honest,
that movie's terrible.
And not because of my personal opinion of the movie, but it's compared to Menace II Society, it's really kind of soft. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
And that would have lost. Like, there wouldn't have been a way to really defend that movie as being more gangster than.
Not only that. Like I said earlier, I think that both films have similar stories. While not the same, I think the main thread through both of them are the same. Everything else around them, the other branches around them are different. But the main story, trying to get out of the hood, whether it's a guy that you love or it's a guy that you love to hate, it's the same thing. They're both trying to get out.
I think the character archetypes are kind of you have two guys running around. One guy wants out of the city.
Both of them have a football player in it, a star football player.
There's ties.
Because every black neighborhood has a star football player
and a basketball player. But yeah, there are. I understand what he's saying. Like I see his point to
That's like saying, Romeo and Juliet, and When Harry Met Sally, they both involve a man and a woman in love. They're the same movie essentially. Like they're two totally different stories with two totally different. The protagonists could not be more polar opposite of each other. That's why I don't see how you can say they're close to the same story.
But are they both trying to get out of the hood?
Well, but that's like okay. That's like
the storyline is similar, but the characters are different.
That's breaking it down to its fundamentally most generic description of it.
Absolutely.
That's like when people say,
which is why I said it would lose.
People say,
and the acting is not very good either.
People say certain comics material is hacky. It's like, well, what do you mean it's hacky? Well, it's a relationship joke. Okay. But it was their relationship.
Right.
I mean, we can break that down with it. I could go to Chris Rock and go, the big black people versus the N-word bit. That's just a race joke. I mean, you can break everything fundamentally down to the same thing, but to say, well, Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood is pretty much the same thing, that's just going, oh, well, it's about a bunch of young black guys in L.A. Like, yeah, but it's two completely different stories.
So anyway, I wanted to pick that one. It's been forever since I've seen Juice.
You got the juice now.
Yeah, but I know the ledge. But like I said, I haven't seen it forever, and I probably, while I thought it wasn't bad, I just couldn't get behind it as much as I would New Jack City, because I always liked New Jack. So
nobody eating a banana and juice. You're right.
I probably would have won then, huh? So, all right. Well, what do we got coming up?
So what's your guys' gangster experience? I'm just wondering.
I can't talk about that. It's sealed documents.
I
was a minor.
I'll show you the tape.
Limitations.
I literally remember my best friend Mark Sparrow, I wish I would have talked.
Do I have to beep that out later?
What?
His name?
No.
Okay.
No, he'd be honored to be associated with this movie. But literally, like every weekend in middle school, like either I'd stay the night at his house, or he'd stay the night at my house, and my other friends would stay the night. But like me and Mark, that was our movie. I mean, we thought we were Kane and O-Dog, and then we'd argue over who was O-Dog. But that was our fucking movie. I mean, we used to get the big Dog and Subs root beers from Brown's Market. And
that was gangsta.
No, 40s. Get the brown paper bag and put them over it, and we would walk around Franklin drinking that with our pants sagging down, like wearing white beaters and khakis. And
sadly, I could see him doing this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I used to wear the White Sox. I'm a Cubs fan, and I used to wear the White Sox hat because fuck, Dre wore the White Sox hat. You know?
Oh my god.
And I was so obsessed with that, and like I still am. I'm obsessed with mafia stuff. I'm obsessed with the Sopranos and that stuff. I love that kind because it's a lifestyle I'll never know, but I'm so jealous of. I want to be involved.
Crime
in that.
culture.
I love it. I wish I could get away with committing crime. That's what I'm trying to say.
We used to watch Menace all the time too, more so than New Jack, but. That was, like I said, we used to quote that movie all the time. There are a lot of good lines in there that are quotable. The soundtrack too. That's one that I still got that upstairs and still. Well, I haven't listened
just have
to
a lot of obscure soundtracks upstairs. I used to be kind of impressed, but now I'm just like, oh, he just has every fucking movie in the '90s.
You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed when I got up there. But yeah, we used to jam to that all the time too, driving around trying to act all cool, but
Yeah, you see
we're just
Kramer.
We were just a bunch of dorky white kids.
You seen Kramer versus Kramer? Get the soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack's upstairs.
The Pelican Brief. I've got the score.
Yep. So what do we got coming up next week?
Race car movies.
Race car.
It's obscure and it could be anything. Say it has to be a car racing movie. So it just has to have car races. It has to be about car races.
Okay.
It has to be about car races, not just, there was a car race in the one scene.
You can't be like, hey, they drove these cars really fast down the street. That's a car race.
I think I'm going to go with
I'm talking about
Nights.
car racing. Like, it has to be about racing cars.
You want to go with a comedy?
I mean, I don't know what other racing movie I would like.
See, and I'm going to explain something to the listeners, too. Comedy for us, and I've said this, and Brad's kind of agreed to, that comedy for us to try and defend and argue is a little difficult. Yeah, maybe that's what you want to hear, but it's hard for us to to do. It's hard to do.
It's hard to make fun of something that's already making fun of itself.
Right. I mean, if it's already not taking itself seriously.
Yeah, I'll find it cheesy.
I've got a few in mind for myself.
There's a lot of them out there, but that's the only criteria that there is. I don't care what it is; it just has to be about car races.
See, I was
something
like
to do with car races.
Having said that,
so you have those Cannonball Run to Fast and Freaking Furious. Those are car racing movies.
Cannonball